All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you guys are tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up. And of course, if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to our lovely channel. All right, in this one, we're going to be talking about how we were able to make $5,000 today, right? $5,480.05 in gross profits. And as you guys can see, the bulk of the gains are going to come on stock DTSS. Stock DTSS. Ticker symbol DTSS was the one. Coming into the pre-market session, this stock was on fire. It was really moving from 160 up to $7. It pulls back to 3 and then rips all the way up to 11. I was a little worried that hey, this thing might have ran its course, might be finished. But we are in a hot market. And you know what? I think it's possible, on that note, I think it's possible the market can get even hotter, but we'll have to see, right? But anyhows, we got up to 11 into the open. We had some sideways action, and then we started to surge. The opening surge, ripping right up there to what was that, 1048 from a low of, geez, from a low of 1048 to a high of 1272. Absolutely impressive. It halts higher, but then we get a crazy lower resumption. We talk about holding into halts and how they can be risky. Guys, the risk is real. This thing resumes lower, dips, and then curls up, and that provides an opportunity as well. And from there, we start to get some higher lows, and that put us into a bit of a short-term bull flag right here. After the 1-minute candle made the new high over 1146, we ripped up nicely. Sweet baby pullback in here, surges up. Sweet baby pullback, surges up again. And so a lot of people are asking, Relentless, how are you managing risk on these trades? Guys, my approach for either buying high or buying low is always in or out, quick and clean. If I'm looking for the breakout, I want the stock to go immediately. If not, I'm looking to keep a tight risk. Break even, tight losses, small losses. If I get caught in a big flush, cutting it immediately as fast as I can. There is no hesitating here. There's no waiting to see if it bounced back. No, I'm out. When the stock flushes down and I'm in, I want to see the immediate curl back up. If not, I'm out. If I take a bigger loss, that's okay, but I'm selling as quick as I can. That is my approach to risk almost every single trade. Like 95% of the times. There's only a few certain situations where I'll be in and looking to hold longer, and we'll talk about that, where I could have potentially took that trade, which is coming up, but I was not able to capitalize. So we surged all the way here from about 1050 up to 1489. This thing pulls back here into the previous high around 1270 and bounces back up nicely. This provided a beautiful dip and bounce. From there, we consolidated and broke down. And so right here is where I was starting to consider the 5-minute pullback, which is where I can buy a stock in a zone, potentially for support, and look to hold with a stop in place. This is the only time I could really be in and holding longer. But I do want to show you guys just a little bit of the level 2 in that area and how quickly this thing surged up when we pulled back, because I was watching for the trade. It's just a little disappointing to not see it. I was watching for the trade here. So let's move forward. All right. So here we are. We're pulling back. All right. Let's skip ahead a little bit. And you guys will see I'm up 7,000. It's 9:46 a.m. In the first 15 minutes of the day, we're up 7 grand. So you'll see that I gave back profits. Now, so we're pulling back here. We're going to pull back into this previous level around the support zone. And I'm going to look to take the entry down here. So this is me buying to see if we're going to respect this previous low. And it's going to come down a little bit, I believe. So I think I'm going to lose here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm at 50. Did this bounce? Okay, no, this was a winning trade. So we got a decent winning trade there. I mean, not really that great because the spreads are going to come back down. But anyhows, I think we got to go ahead a little bit more. Well, actually not, because that's 30 seconds. So this is where things are gonna go south for me, right? So after that quick panic, flush and a retest of the lows, because we broke down the level, I started to think that we might see a 5 minute pullback here. And so I zoomed out from this area and I came down to my 5 minute chart, right, which is down here. I came to my 5 minute chart and I'm like, you know what? We might start to see a bit of a pullback here, right? So I'm watching this area around 10:20. Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's come back. Not 10:20. Gotta come back some more. Right here, right down in here, I'm starting to wonder around 45, 50. Are we gonna see that 5 minute pullback? And I look away, and I kid you guys not, maybe like 10 seconds later, because you see how fast this thing is gonna come up. I should have never took my eye off this chart. If I did not move my eye right here, I think I could have tripled my gains, and this could have been a $20,000 day, right? Because I was using big size. I was using big size here. So right here, I'm looking away, and look at how quickly. Look right here. It's gonna start right here, 1250. Watch this. It just jumps to 14 from 1250 to 14 like magic. And you'll notice my mouse cursor is not on this area. So look, it's gonna come back in frame here in a sec, and it's gonna be me now. So there's my mouse cursor. This is me now, kind of coming out of the 5 minute chart and looking back up, only to see the stock is already at 14, and I'm like, what the heck? And look at that, right? So I, from perfect, like near perfect trading and being in beautiful tandem and rhythm and sync, to looking away for just a few seconds, 10, 15 seconds, to look down just to zoom out, make sure we're not seeing a 5 minute pullback, or let's say if we are seeing a 5 minute pullback, how I want to position myself to manage risk, because I already took the quick panic flush, right? But looking back, I just needed to hold that trade, right? But that's not how the strategy is going to work in that situation. The panic flush states, once we get that bounce, be out of there, right? So I look back, we're at 14, and I'm already thinking like dang, what happened? How did we get up here so quick? And then from 14, it's at 15. So I've missed from essentially 1250 again to 15, and this is where I start to feel like what has happened, and I'm like, I'm falling out of rhythm here. So I buy right here, and I'm thinking maybe it's gonna continue, but it doesn't. It drops back down. I just could not get a good rhythm from here all the way to 20, because in this area it just kind of kept going. So sometimes it's tricky, and maybe if I was watching I would not have been able to make money, right? I don't know, but I'd like to think if I saw and witnessed what was happening, I could have potentially been back in, and that would have given me the confidence to continue to buy higher, because right here we went from 15 to then 1650 to then 19 and to then 20, and I lost money here, just not being able to do anything about it. So from beautiful trading, capturing a little bit of the opening surge, the dip out of the resumption, the bounce, the pullback, the 1 minute candle make a new high. I was green 2700 flat and then back green again. It's worth mentioning. It's a lot of money, right? 3K, but I'm using big size, so it's all part of the deal. But a little disappointing. I did stick around to watch it in this area here. All the way up until this area, thought we could have potentially seen a move up, but once we rejected, I'm like, hey, I'll come back later. Looks like it might want to pull back, and it did. It's gonna come down hard here, 40% drop. So that was DTSS. Man, it's a great day, but you still feel like you could have done better, and that's a good thing, right? Because it allows us it gives us a good feeling, comfort to know that we can do better, and that the ceiling is still nowhere in sight. So the other stock was CETY, 600 bucks there. The other ones, very small winners and losers. CETY was called out in the chat room. I believe our editor, Kitty, he was watching it this one along with some of the other traders. And I said, hey, you know what? Right here in this area above VWAP, I'm like, okay, if we can see a push, I wouldn't mind. It pushed up nicely from 55 to 70, dips back into the VWAP, and the VWAP acted as great support right here, and it bounced up, right? So we had a nice bounce right here, and then a nice bounce. I did size up in one of these areas because we had a big bid, and I'm like, hey, this is my chance. I got in there aggressively, paid off, had a decent trade, 600 bucks. So from 4,800, that pushed me back up to 54. But again, from 7,800, you know, we kind of fumbled that move up, or else it could have been an epic day. I think 20K, but and I'm saying that very lightly because I was using big size. If the from 12 to 20, if I capture, you know, $2 a share, um, that's about 8,000, right? So I'm using big size right now on this thing. I mean, the market is hot, right? This is the perfect time for me to try to use size. So going for it like there's no tomorrow, and like it's nobody's business, right? So that'll do it for the recap, guys. Quick one here. Hit that thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. Guys, remember to take a look at those links down below. For those of you wondering how I find the stocks that I trade every day, Momo Pro, this is the scanning software that I use. And if we come down here to the discovery section, you guys will see all the hot stocks listed in percentage order. DTSS, CHNR, some other ones came up later in the day. Um, Other than that, check out the Discord, right? The Discord is our chat room. This is where it goes down. And of course, it's a really good experience being in here amongst all these excellent traders. We got guys like Tim, Crispy, and so many more, right? A lot of students who are progressing and doing well. You got the editor here, Kitty, who's a good trader, having a hard time the last few weeks, but this week as the market is coming around again, heating up. Zero, aka Rolex, Twin, all these great traders in here hanging out every day. You guys can always come down. Feel free to check out the P&L section. You do not have to be a member of the chat room to be able to see this section here. I've left it open for those of you who might just want to see how we're doing, and we're keeping it real. Danny P, big red day here, down 4 grand. So we have to manage that risk. We have to try and keep it tight. It's part of the deal, right? It's part of the territory, SF. The orange names are students. BMAC, way to go, getting it done. BMAC has been so consistent, man. He's one of those guys that's just elite at what he's doing. And he loves the cheaper stocks. MX Trading, Save, another one of the great guys here in the community and a moderator here in the channel. Was this a 17, 18K day? And he's coming back from a small vacation, right? Family break and right back. Just love the consistency. Dynamo is another one of those traders who are really locking it in. I mean, just crazy madness, man. Great numbers. Triad, nice day there. Gave back a little bit off the top, but sometimes that's how it goes. But yeah, guys, check out the chat room. Check out the Momo Pro scanners. If you're interested in the scanners, code Relentless for 25% off for 6 months. Other than that, you guys can also take a look at the classes, right? I do offer a day trading course for those of you who might be interested in, getting some extra help, some extra education. When it comes to this fast-paced style, when it comes to this hyper scalping strategy, buying and selling, utilizing the free commissions, guys, there's no better place to go than right here. Yours truly, Relentless Trader, in the form of merciless markets. Merciless markets, because the markets are merciless. And if we do not approach it in the correct way, we will be eaten alive. So, a couple of things just to remind the people when it comes to risk. Remember that trading is risky business. And so we always say here in the community, it's best to use small size if you're in a live account, small size, a small amount of cash, or to practice using the paper trading simulators to learn. It's almost like going to it's like if you're a pilot, you're trying to be a pilot at least, you're learning, and you're using the flight simulators, things like that, to help hone your skills before you really go do the real thing, right? Similar to driving, you want to study all the rules, the laws before you get behind the wheel. Get a driving instructor. These are the things to do. And of course, you have someone like myself who's highly credible, and a real trader here every day doing it live on a YouTube channel. Guys, check it out. We're gonna run another coupon code coming up soon, but yeah, big things are coming. There's gonna be another day trader team house meetup at the end of this month. Stay tuned for the announcements coming very soon. But yeah, check out the classes, right? You can become a gold member today and have full access, which also includes one-on-one mentor sessions, weekly Q&As, ongoing lectures, and much, much more. Of course, chat room access as well. So with that being said, it's been a Relentless Trader, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay green.